7.6, finding an equation of a line. So the directions say write an equation with slope of 2 and contains the point 3, 1. So our equation is y equals mx plus b. That's our equation we're going to be working from, our slope-intercept equation. So we know what our slope is. Our slope is 2, but we don't know our intercept. We know a point that belongs on our line, and that's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in this point and solve for b, because we know an x and we know a y. So we can find our b. So plug in 1 for the y. The x was 3. And now we'll be able to find out what 2 times 3 is 6. Remember your mirror. I apologize that I didn't do that. So now we want to get rid of the 6. It's a positive 6, so the opposite is a negative 6. That gives us a 0. And we're left with, on the right side is b, on the left, negative 6 and a positive 1. One's positive, one's negative. We subtract. Then we find that 6 is the bigger of the two, and 6 happens to be negative. So our b is negative 5. So we're going to go all the way back to our equation. Y equals, we know the slope, and now we know the y-intercept is a negative 5. So that is our equation. So now what do we do if it says write an equation for a line containing the points 1, 3, and negative 2, negative 3? Well, we can find our slope. Remember slope. Slope needs 2 points. Y sub 2 minus y sub 1, x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So I come over here, xy, xy. This is the first point, this is the second point. So y2 is negative 3 minus y1, which happens to be a positive 3. x2 is negative 2 minus x1, which is 1. They're both negative, you add them together. Negative 3 and negative 3 is negative 6. Negative 2 and negative 1 is negative 3. Negative divided by a negative is a positive. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So now we have a slope of 2. So we go to our equation, y equals mx plus b. We know that our slope is 2. Now we've got to find our b. We have 2 points. We're going to pick one of the 2 points and we're going to plug it in and see what b is. So I'm going to use 1, 3. So the y is 3. The x is 1. And now 2 times 1 is 2. Opposite operations. Positive 2 we subtract from both sides. 1 equals, that's a 0, and we're left just with a b, so we know b is 1. So we come right back in here. M is 2 plus 1, which is the b. Okay, so now we're writing an equation for this line. So we only have a picture to go by with a line. So we can do one of 2 things. We can use the intercept and the slope, and we can do it that way. Or we might have to use it in our slope equation and find the slope, and we'll do that part as well. So let's start with just using the graph to help us. So it crosses the y at negative 1. Negative 1 is where it crosses. So right off the bat, I know that my intercept is negative 1. So now we need the slope, and the slope is the rise over the run. So it's up 2 and over 1. So up 2 over 1. So our slope then would be rise over run, and 2 divided by 1 would be 2. So our equation would be done. But let's say we forgot how to do that. We just know if we can find the slope, then we can plug it in. If we can find the intercept, then we can plug it in. So now we have our slope equation, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But we need 2 points. So this point is over 0, down 1, and this point is over 1, up 1. So now x, y, x, y, x sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. There we go. So now y2 is 1 minus y1, which is negative 1. x2 is 1 minus x1, which is 0. A negative is a positive. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 minus 0 is 1. So we get the slope is 2. So we have y equals mx plus b, and now we know we have a 2. Now, we know we have 2 points that work on this graph. We know we have this part of our equation, and we need to find the b. So we pick one or the other. I like this one, 1, 1. So what happens when y is 1, x is 1? What do we get for our b? Okay. Get rid of this, so 2 plus b. Opposite operations, positive 2, subtract 2 from both sides. That gives me a 0. Negative 2, positive 1. Remember, when you have 1 positive, 1 negative, you subtract. And 2 is a larger number than 1. 2 is negative. My answer is negative. So I go back into my equation. Y equals m, which is the 2, x, plus b. b is minus 1, so it's going to be a minus.